adding in a phone. So you can see there, no phones are currently connected. So do you want to pair a phone? Yes, let's do that. Starting off, going to look on the iPhone side of things, and you've got uConnect. Pin numbers match up, so yes and pair. Do I want to allow contacts and favorites to sync up? I'm going to say no to that one. Do I want to use CarPlay? So yeah, sure, let's use CarPlay because it is wireless inside of uConnect 5. Okay, and then it should take a second there. Sometimes that happens. There we go, perfect. Sometimes you have to push the CarPlay button in order to launch in, but look at that. Beautiful. Super responsive, which is great. Now, a few things. Along the very bottom tray, you can see a few things. So you can push this to get to your icon view. You've got current time, which map was open last, which radio or music application was opened, and which miscellaneous application was open last. So let's say if you were, I don't know, let's go through. Using Apple Maps, you can drag around, but there's no pinch to zoom. You can go in and out that way, change up your headings, etc. Search for addresses, look at previous destinations. If you go back home, you could jump into Google Maps, and it's the same idea. So no pinch to zoom, but you could zoom in and out this way. Hitting done, search for addresses, previous destinations. You can go route options, change your colors around and things like that. So avoiding things like highways, toll roads, ferries, etc. Pushing back home, you could then jump into Waze instead, which changes that button. Same idea, responsive. You can notify if there's something that's available there, like road hazards, things like that. If you're a Waze user, you know what button that does. You can search for addresses or hop back home. YouTube music works, podcasts work, audiobooks, Hoopla is a library app. So certain things will work directly through this screen, which is nice. It's good. Now, if you were home there, you could push the CarPlay button or push CarPlay to either launch the uConnect phone or the device manager. So you can hop back into the screen, and then if you wanted to reconnect to Bluetooth audio or streaming that way instead. Hopping back into CarPlay. And one nice thing about the CarPlay side, if you jump into your general settings, CarPlay, going to look at, I think it was this uConnect, you can turn it off, forget the car, or customize. So let's say if you're a bigger fan of having your podcast at the top and you want your audiobooks up there as well, you could do it. Or you could delete it instead. So you hit remove, delete, remove, and that removes it from the vehicle completely. It's saved along the bottom, so you could technically add them back in, but if you've done too much, you don't like what you've done, you can reset and bring it back to a factory default instead, and you're set to go. Like I said, you can push down there, device manager to jump back to this page if you wanted to reconnect. So you're essentially disconnecting CarPlay to reconnect to your just over Bluetooth instead. So you could either be connected to Bluetooth for your phone calls and music or CarPlay. CarPlay, you can still use your phone for music and phone calls and things like that, but they essentially run off of different connections. But that's how you set up an iPhone inside of uConnect 5. Next up, setting up an Android is the exact same process. So assuming that you weren't on this screen, you could hit phone, press again in order to go to device manager, and that brings you to this screen instead. You can add in a device, or let's say if this one you wanted to go through, you can enable the phone or disable, enable Bluetooth, go to charge only mode and things like that. But we want to add in a device. Looking through, and you're looking for that same uConnect. Pins match up. Do I want to connect Android Auto? Yes, I do. Allow contacts to sync up. No, messages, same idea. So what's happening is it's going through and it's activating Android Auto for us right now. So let's continue through. Oh, is it not going to let me go full screen? Oh, all right, so here we go. I'm taking a look. You can see there. Oh, that's unfortunate. So it's full screen Apple CarPlay, but it doesn't look like full screen Android Auto. That's unfortunate. Really wish that was full screen instead, but yeah, here nor there. At least you've got Android Auto support inside of this thing. But very similar to the iPhone side, you can see there, you've got a few buttons along the very bottom. So you could activate your Google Assistant that way if you want to, or you can also do a longer press and hold if you wanted to activate the Google Assistant instead. And that's the same thing on the iPhone side of things. So you can see addresses there, very similar to the iPhone side. The gear icon lets you look at route options and settings and a few other things. Navigation, you can plus or minus, but one thing that's nice about the that's good, pinch to zoom capabilities on Android Auto. So that's just one thing that we didn't see inside of the iPhone. Now if you go back, device manager, you can see there a few things. So if let's go this way. So you can disconnect the Android Auto session if you want to. And one cool thing here is that you can have one phone set up for, if you wanted to go this route, one route for phone and one for the audio itself. So if you've got one phone where you've got all of your audio on it, but the other one that you want to use for phone calls, you've got the flexibility to do it. So it can be any of these 4 combined, but it's either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So you can't have both of them there. You can push the button there in order to make it a favorite if you want. Same idea, you can enable, disable, disconnect, or delete. So if you wanted to get rid of the device, you go that way. Same idea, let's get rid of the iPhone, delete, yes, and you're set to go. So it's that easy setting up phones inside of the Ram 1500.